Here with our weekly update with head coach John Gross. Coach, you went 1-1 last week. Difficult loss to Miami on Saturday. Came back really well against Central Michigan on Tuesday. What did you like from the the difference between that Central game from that Miami game that we can use into this weekend?
Well, I didn't think we played particularly well in either one of them, but to be honest with you, we were fortunate enough in one case against Central to have a chance to learn and get better and grow and improve from a win. The thing I took out of the Central game was that we had guys that played their roles really well. And we had a couple of our mainstay offensive threats and players that did not shoot the ball particularly well. And other guys stepped in and made plays for us, whether it was Roscoe making a three, React, 10 rebounds, 3 block shots, E-Man, a dunk, a couple block shots, and great offensive rebounding effort. Cheese, double-double. Channel Banks makes 2 threes. I just thought Sales contributed with his physicality and board effort. And when a couple of our leading scorers didn't play particularly well, to be able to overcome that and have other guys step up and still win a game against a team of their caliber, I thought was the most encouraging thing from the Central Michigan game. Miami, I just didn't think we played very well offensively either half. Defensively, I thought we were really good in the first half. Second half, not quite as good. But again, we've put a lot of pressure on our defense here in the last couple weeks. Our offense has been a work in progress. I do feel like in the Central game we got out in transition a little bit more. We were more active on the glass, trying to add some easy baskets to our offensive production, and we're going to have to do that moving forward if we expect to be better offensively. The best offensive teams, Chad, have a knack for getting easy baskets. If you're going to come into this league and play teams 2 to 3 times when familiarity is really high and try to meet grind people and out-execute them, certainly execution's important. But I think the best offensive teams have a knack for getting easy baskets, and that's either transition or on the backboard.
Now, Daniel Utome didn't have a really good offensive game on Tuesday. He didn't score any points, but left him in from a defensive standpoint was really off the charts. Talk about what the mindset is for a guy like that who isn't seeing the ball go into the net, but ultimately playing his heart out defensively for you.
Well, I thought he did some good things defensively. He's improved a lot over the last year defensively from where he started when we first got here. In terms of shots, I thought he took pretty good ones, and I'm going to live with those. He's a guy that spends a lot of time working on his game. Obviously, we all know he's a better shooter than what he showed the other night, and I've got great confidence in him that he'll bounce back.
And then Tyler Cheese, you mentioned him with a double-double. His kind of advancement in from the junior college to now the Division I, what have you really been pleased with his play?
Well, I think a lot of times, certainly in my experience over the years with junior college players, it usually takes them a semester to figure it out. And stereotypically speaking, that's kind of what's happened with Tyler. And he's really started to figure it out and been great offensively. Still got some work to do defensively, but offensively he's been really, really good. Makes great decisions, can really pass, can really see. And I think what helps him as much as anything, Chad, really is 2 things. Number one, he's so smart, and he sees things on offense and defense very, very well ahead of time, which is very rare. It's hard to teach that. And then number 2, for a lead guard or point guard, we basically play 2 point guards together with him and Jackson. He's 6'4", 6'5", so it's no different than having an NFL quarterback that's 6'5" that can make throws versus maybe one that's 5'10". So he's that size certainly helps him in terms of being able to get the ball where he needs to get the ball over the top of people, which makes him a little bit unique.
Now we have Northern Illinois coming into James A. Rhodes Arena this Saturday. That game's going to be at 5 o'clock. You saw them just a few weeks ago. What are some of the things that you definitely want to see improved from that first matchup in DeKalb?
Yeah, I thought the first half is about as well as we've played probably in the last 2 or 3 weeks. We were really good both offensively and defensively in the first half in DeKalb. And then the second half, I thought for the first time they got out on us in a big run, a 16-0 run. When we had a 4-point lead with about 13 minutes to go in the second half. That really was the difference in the game. And really for the first time, I did not like our response to getting hit in the mouth. I thought we cracked. The guys know that. I showed those clips. I think our guys obviously will be excited about having another opportunity to play them this weekend. Obviously, they're playing as well as anybody right now. They just came off a huge win over Buffalo. And, Monty's done a great job with them. They've got 2 or 3 road kills already. So we've got to be ready to play. They're experienced. It starts with German and Thorpe. those two guys had 43 combined against Buffalo, and they put it on us as well in game one. So we've got to do a good job defending those guys.
And then no midweek game next week. So what is what's going to be the mentality next week and the kind of week off leading up to the contest next Saturday against Ohio?
Depends on how we play on Saturday against Northern. That will determine days off. It will determine what type of practices that we have, the style of those, the purpose of those. And so we'll see how we do on Saturday.
Sounds good, Coach. Fans, if you can't be here on Saturday, again, that game is at 5 o'clock against Northern Illinois. Be sure to check it out on ESPN+. For the Zips Digital Network, I'm Chad Welker. Have a great weekend, and go Zips.